Kung saan man kayo sa mundo, welcome sa inyong paboritong weekly boxing show, Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow in partnership with Petron. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Kinito Henson, at nag-iimbita sa inyo lahat. Sama-sama tayo panuorin itong isa na namang edisyon ng makasaysayan na sagupaan at salpukan. Huwag niyong kalilimutan ang Blow by Blow po. You can follow and subscribe to our social media platforms sa Facebook, sa Instagram, sa YouTube, at every Sunday po, lalabas po tayo 8:30 p.m. Channel 41, Cignal One Sports TV. Okay, panoorin po natin, Blow by Blow.
WBC World Minimumweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Melvin Jerusalem.
Yung preparasyon namin talaga ni Coach, sobrang tagal kasi parang gaganti nga sila para maganti sa kasama nila na tinalo din namin. Relax lang ako, sir, kasi alam ko malakas din kalaban, wala kaming kumpiyansa. Sobrang excited ako, sir, kasi pangarap ko to na makadipinsa dito sa Pilipinas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Luis Castillo.
Los 12 años. No bajé, me entrenaba y me gustó a mí, pues empecé. No, cuando te gusta algo, se te hace fácil. Entrené muy duro para esta pelea de campeonato. Es la mejor preparación que he hecho en toda mi carrera.
Nandito po tayo sa Mandaluyong City, the Philippines. And it's gonna be an exciting night of fireworks. Mabuhay Pilipinas! Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Kinito Henson. This is the main event of the evening. It's gonna be a slam bang action on Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow in partnership with Petron. None other than the reigning WBC Minimumweight champion Melvin Jerusalem of the Philippines, defending his championship for the first time against the Mexican undefeated challenger Luis Castillo. Ang dami po nating mga kababayan, mga kaboxing, mga kaibigan. Nandito po sa Mandaluyong City College Gymnasium. We are full-packed and we're also in the presence of the Mandaluyong City Mayor Ben Abalos for this very significant event. The first World Championship fight in the Philippines in 2 years and the first this year. The last World Championship fight in the Philippines was back in 2022. And now, for the very first time in the history of Blow by Blow, there will be a World Championship fight na mapapanood po natin. And what an exciting development. We want to be able to thank none other than the 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao for making this possible. On Blow by Blow, huwag niyong kalilimutan, subscribe and follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's Blow by Blow MP. Well, this upcoming fight, we are scheduled for 12 rounds. And it's going to be an exciting one for sure. Melvin Jerusalem staking his championship for the first time. Luis Castillo blew in the town with his manager and his trainer, Eduardo Montiel. You all remember, of course, that Montiel's brother Fernando, back in 2007, came to the Philippines to defend his WBO Junior Flyweight Championship against Zigores in Cebu City. Fond memories of the Montiel family for that one. Now they are back, and they're hoping to bring the championship back to Mexico and taking it away from Melvin Jerusalem. And now let's look over some historical facts about this fight and what happened in the run-up to this contest. And we had a media workout involving Luis Castillo. We all know he is undefeated with a record of 21 wins, no losses, and 1 draw with 13 knockouts. Siya po ay galing Los Mochis, Sinaloa. He is a southpaw. At ang makakalaban po niya, si Jerusalem, who is an orthodox fighter. He's got a distinct height and reach advantage over Jerusalem. That's 4 inches in reach, the advantage of Luis Castillo. We saw him in action in our media workout. Ngayon naman po, panuorin po natin si Melvin Jerusalem in his own media workout. And he's such, an exciting champion. This is his second reign as a world champion. The first reign was as WBO minimum weight champion, and now he's the WBC minimum weight title holder. And he took that championship from Shigeoka, and that was a spectacular victory last March. He brought down Shigeoka twice, and then he settled for a win by a split decision. And he became the only reigning Filipino world champion at that time. Of course, he has since been joined by the IBF minimum weight champion, Pedro Taduran, the only two reigning Filipino world champions at the moment. And now let's go over to the press con. And this was a very significant event. Philippine media was introduced to not just Melvin, or rather reintroduced to Melvin, but introduced to Luis Castillo. Yan po ang blow-by-blow press con. And that was held at the Cafe Ilang-Ilang at the Manila Hotel. No less than Senator Manny Pacquiao wanted to make sure that a press con would be held in a big way. And that's Luis Castillo, JC Banakil, who is the promoter of Melvin Jerusalem. And that's Eduardo Montiel. And also Mr. Matsuura, the co-manager of Melvin Jerusalem. And then our friends from media asking questions. A very historic moment, I think, for media, as well as our protagonists, getting an opportunity to ask questions to both Jerusalem at saka si Castillo. And now, this is our main event. We're scheduled for 12 rounds, and this is in the minimum weight division with a weight limit of 105 pounds. It's Melvin Jerusalem of the Zip Sandman Boxing Gym of Cebu City kontra Luis Castillo ng Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. The undefeated challenger. Ayan po ang ating tail of the tape. We did mention, meron pong significant reach advantage si Castillo over Jerusalem. That's 4 inches in reach. He's also 2 inches taller than Jerusalem. Kaliwete po si Castillo, orthodox fighter. Si Jerusalem, you take a look at their record so far. We did mention that Castillo is undefeated as a fighter. He's 3 years younger than Melvin Jerusalem. And at the moment, are we going to now listen to our ring announcer, Bobby Mandahar? Let's turn you over to ring announcer Bobby Mandahar for the official intros.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Luis Castillo on video.
Entrené muy duro para esta pelea de campeonato. Es la mejor preparación que he hecho en toda mi carrera. No, que no se pierdan la pelea esta de campeonato, que va a ser una pelea muy buena, una pelea entretenida. Y un saludo a todos los filipinos de aquí y a todos los mexicanos también. No, pues que no se pierdan mi pelea por ESPN, que va a ser una pelea dura, pero entretenida, y vamos a salir victoriosos en esta pelea. Sí, que gracias por la oportunidad esta que me abrió las puertas, y para todos los que están reunidos en esta pelea también.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter coming into the ring, Luis Castillo. Melvin Jerusalem on video.
Last fight ko, yung nakuha ko yung WBC belt, matagal din namin pinagdaan ni Coach yun kasi alam namin na parang kami yung kukunin na charges nila para maganti sa kasama nila na tinalo din namin. Alam ko malakas din kalaban, kaya wala kaming kumpiyansa. Tapos naghihintay lang talaga kami ng timing. Yung preparation namin talaga ni Coach, sobrang tagal kasi pinaghandaan din namin yun kasi parang gaganti nga sila. Hindi naman natin masabi agad kasi ang ibang kalaban din, naghihintay lang din ng timing. Sa lahat po ng sumusuporta po, lalo na sa Pilipinas, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Ito na po yung time na magdidipisa tayo ng belt natin. Ito mismo sa Pilipinas. At napapasalamat ako kay Senator Manny Pacquiao dahil binigyan ako ng opportunity na dito ilaban yung belt natin. At saka kay Boss GC Manangkil at sa manager ko, Macho Ora. At sa lahat ng mga Pilipino, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter coming into the ring, Melvin Jerusalem. Before we start, I would like to call on up a WBC fight supervisor, Tsuyoshi Yasukochi from Japan. And also, our judges at ringside, I would like to call them up the ring. Judge Shin Kyung-ha from Korea. And Judge Stephen Blea from Denver, Colorado, USA. And Judge Arnulfo Nahera from the Philippines. And before we start, we're going to start off with our national anthems. Mexico's national anthem first. And now, to sing to you the Philippine national anthem, Miss Madonna Decena.
Mga kababayan, sabay-sabay po nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at punok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhatid pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. aming ligaya ng pag may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you, Ms. Desena. Handa na ba kayo? Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow here in Mandaluyong Gymnasium, Mandaluyong City, in partnership with Petron, in coordination with Mayor Benjamin Abalos, Vice Mayor Menchi Abalos, and the Sangguniang Panglunsod, with RMB Prime Inbox. Ladies and gentlemen, all professional boxing bouts are sanctioned by the Games and Amusements Board. GAB Chairman, Attorney Francisco Rivera. GAB Commissioners, Attorney Manuel Plaza III, Angel Bautista. The Chief of Boxing and Other Contact Sports, Mr. Rodil Manaug. Ringside Physicians, Dr. Noel Napa, Dr. Carlo Calugsod. Timekeepers, as the bell rings, Kim Dangan, Romulo Santiago. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is for the WBC World Minimum Weight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 104.8 pounds. He has a record of 21 wins, no loss. One draw, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. From Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Luis Castillo. Castillo. Right across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 104.8 pounds. He has a record of 22 wins, 3 losses. 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Zip Sandman Boxing Gym, Cebu City, Philippines. The reigning, defending WBC World Minimum Weight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Melvin Jerusalem. Judges at ringside, Cignal One from Korea, Stephen Blea, Denver, Colorado, USA, Arnulfo Nahera from the Philippines. Our third man in the ring, referee Yuji Fukuji from Japan. This will be 12 rounds of professional boxing.
Okay. Okay, coming. WBC Minimum Championship, no foul. All right, good luck.
Short and sweet message from the third man in the ring, Yuji Fukuji of Japan.
Okay.
And this is it. Our main event scheduled for 12. It's for the Minimum Weight Championship of the World, WBC version. The southpaw Castillo, a longer reach, the taller fighter. They call him Flechita, which means the little arrow. And explaining why he was called that way, Castillo said it's because he's sharp and he's quick. Left hand connected there by Melvin Jerusalem. Originally from Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon. His mother Mira Luna flew in from Bukidnon yesterday to witness this action at ringside. Jerusalem making his first defense of his championship, a mandatory defense. And Senator Manny Pacquiao himself wanted to make sure that the defense will be held in the Philippines and not anywhere else. And Senator Manny made it happen. Nagsusukatan yung dalawa. Wala pong masyadong tinatapon. Castillo Needs to take advantage of that long reach. Sweeping shots but not finding the mark. And Jerusalem connecting that time. Some glancing shots. Walang masyadong impact. Shot to the body there by Jerusalem. And then the right hand. That scored. Punches to the body here. Jerusalem, however, not able to throw a combination. Wary that pagbagsak niya ng isang suntok, baka bigla siyang i-counter ni Castillo. So he's biding his time. He's looking for the opening, finding out what is available. Nice counter moving around by Jerusalem, drawing a roar from the crowd. Castillo has not shown too much in this round. It's been Jerusalem's fight so far. Castillo pulling away with that right hand, but he's not poking it. He's not using it as a jab. It's almost like a measuring stick. Oh, that's a knockdown. That's a knockdown. Jerusalem scoring a knockdown in the first round.
7.
A shot, a right hand, straight out of nowhere, and Castillo has gone down. And here we go, on the attack. Jerusalem is going for the kill. Castillo on the receiving end. He goes down, he's taken down. That's a slip. And the bell has come to the rescue of Castillo. He's on rubbery legs. He's not walking straight, going back to his corner. He's in Queer Street, glassy-eyed. Wow, what an explosion. Biglang pumutok si Melvin Jerusalem. A right hand, straight right hand. Bagsak po si Castillo. Remember si Castillo po, wala pa pong talo yan. Punch of the round, panuuri po natin. What a top shot. And that was a punch. Watch it from another angle. The right hand, flush on the button. Panuuri po natin again. And going down on his back, Luis Castillo feeling the full impact of that straight hand, straight right hand, galing kay Melvin Jerusalem. And Manny Pacquiao, blow-by-blow promotion CEO Manny Pacquiao making the sign of the cross at ringside. Castillo, his attention is now being caught by Jerusalem. And let's see how much respect Castillo is going to give Jerusalem. And for Jerusalem, got to take it easy. Shouldn't rush things. Set up everything with that left jab. He's the orthodox fighter. Jerusalem can't give Castillo an opportunity to come back. Here he goes again. Castillo still a little shaky from that first round knockdown. Castillo, and you can see that he's biding his time. He's moving away from Jerusalem. He's still trying to clear the cobwebs in his head, that's for sure. He's not fighting back. He's just wasting time. He's killing time at this stage because he's still shaky. And for Jerusalem, hindi pa siya nagmamadali dito. Castillo's corner. We see Eduardo Montiel and Israel Servin. There we go once more, Jerusalem on the attack. Getting a warning from the referee to keep his punches up. But this is a dominant round for Jerusalem. Not that he's connecting solid blows, it's just that Castillo is just moving away, trying to recover from that first round knockdown. Actually, pagkakataon dito ni Jerusalem to step on the gas. Walang pinapakita dito si Castillo. But I think Jerusalem is letting Castillo get off the hook. Right hand there connected. Not much force behind that shot by Jerusalem. Overhand right attempted by Jerusalem. Crowd looking for a knockout from Jerusalem. And every punch thrown by Jerusalem draws a roar of approval from the crowd. That right jab of Castillo, he's not pumping it. The round is coming to a close. Jerusalem on the attack once more, connecting with the right, another right hand. That's the end of round number 2. Once more, Castillo on the receiving end. Jerusalem should have started that attack actually earlier in the round. Pinamana naman niya si Castillo. Not a mark on the face of Jerusalem so far. It's been 2 rounds of dominant action. But you can't be overconfident. Castillo is not the mandatory number 1 contender for nothing. Those are the blows of the round brought to you by Petron. Round number 3. Castillo has done nothing in this fight so far, and he needs to be able to change up. Is he going to lead off with the right hand, lead off with the left hand? Nasasayang yung kanyang reach advantage. That's a 4-inch reach advantage he has over Jerusalem. And Jerusalem's corner led by Michael Domingo. He's in the corner of Jerusalem. JC Manangkil, the promoter of Jerusalem, also in his corner along with Nobuyuki Matsuura, his Japanese manager, along with Matsuura's wife, Mavic. Melvin Jerusalem patiently looking for an opening, but he needs to be a little more aggressive. 1-2 combination coming from Jerusalem. Now he's gotten the respect of Castillo. Left hand connected by Jerusalem. Castillo's making some very grave mistakes. As he comes in, he leaves himself open for the counter. Jerusalem just looking for the opening, looking to counter. Hindi siya nagmamadali. Castillo comes in with a 1-2. But Jerusalem just moving away. There's another right hand coming from Jerusalem. Good job by Jerusalem in evading those long jabs of Luis Castillo, ducking from under those jabs. Left hand coming from Jerusalem. Good cover up by Jerusalem with his hands held up high. Shot to the body. A clean fight that we're watching here.
Hey!
And mind you, this is a mandatory defense by Jerusalem. Number 1 contender is Luis Castillo, who went down in the first round from a single right hand coming from Jerusalem. We're in round number 3, and that's about to end. That dropped the head back of Castillo. number 3 now in the books. Castillo has not won a single round, but malayo pa to. If this goes the distance, we have 9 more rounds to go. There's Luis Castillo trying to regain his composure. I think he's over that first round knockdown. The only draw in his record was with Angel Guevara. That was a split draw back in 2017. Panurin po natin some shots from the previous round. The blows of the round brought to you by Petron. A left hand connecting for Melvin Jerusalem. And then the right hand. What you want to see would be the combinations thrown by Jerusalem. And those shots, you saw the punch of the round brought to you by Petron rather, of the San Miguel group. I think it's important for Jerusalem to put those punches together. Kabit-kabit yung mga suntok niya para hindi na maka-retaliate si Castillo. Jerusalem has to force Castillo to fight defensively so that he's always on the attack. Castillo now throwing some punches, but he's not reaching Jerusalem, despite the fact that meron siyang reach advantage. Left hand coming from Jerusalem. Just one shot though. Let's see those combinations from Melvin Jerusalem. The right hand for Jerusalem is money for him. The right straight against the southpaw Castillo. All about timing. Jerusalem just waiting for Castillo to lunge, and then he'll attack on a counter. Castillo starting to connect. That time, connecting with the left hand. That rocked the head back of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is actually leaving the door open here for Castillo to come back. That left hand now beginning to connect, and Castillo also showing that right hand connecting from a distance.
Break! No punch.
Jerusalem has to come closer to Castillo. Castillo's beginning to dictate with his long distance pot shooting. Castillo seems to be gaining in confidence now. He's throwing those long lefts and long rights. And for Jerusalem, he needs to start moving laterally. He's just standing in front of Castillo. And that time, wasn't able to get the shot in. Malayo masyado si Castillo. Jerusalem needs to move side to side to be able to create angles for his shots. If he's standing straight up, facing Castillo, he'll be an easy target. That's the end of round number 4. Much better round for Castillo, as he started to find his range from distance at hindi na masyado nakapasok si Jerusalem. So a big adjustment in the strategy of Castillo. Round number 5 coming up. That's the blaze of the round. At makikita po natin si Castillo connecting, that time with the left hand. And that rocked the head back of Melvin Jerusalem. That's the blaze of the round brought to you by Petron. We'll have to give that round to Castillo after Jerusalem took the first 3 rounds of this contest. Now the door is open for Castillo to make a strong fight of this. Left hand connecting that time for Castillo, who's now throwing a lot more punches. His work rate has improved.
Stop. Okay, go ahead.
A clash of heads. And referee Yuji Fukuji just making sure that everyone's okay after that accidental clash of heads. Jerusalem has to go back to his combinations. It's a right hand scored by Jerusalem. And then he pokes that right hand to the midsection of Castillo. He needs to get back his aggressiveness. Missing the time with the right hand. Castillo's defense has improved. Hindi na siya masyadong tinatamaan ni Jerusalem. Jerusalem scoring with that right uppercut. Right now, Castillo is right in front of Jerusalem. And that should be the preference of Jerusalem. Hindi masyadong malayo si Castillo. Kaya niyang suntokin. And he's not going to be missing. But he needs to be able to throw those punches in combination. One shot. It's got to be followed up. Jerusalem backing off from that left hand of Castillo. Every punch that Jerusalem lands draws a roar of approval from the crowd, and this round is about to end. Big shot, the right hand coming from Jerusalem to end that round. And just enough for
Ladies
Jerusalem
and gentlemen,
to get that round.
under the WBC rules, here are the scores of the 3 judges after 4 rounds. All judges scored in 40-35, all in favor for the red corner.
And under the WBC rules, scorecards are read at the end of every 4 rounds. So the end of the 4th round, you'll also hear it at the end of the 8th round. And then if it goes a distance, a couple of steps, a punch of the round brought to you by Pedron. We're in round number 6. All 3 judges giving Jerusalem every single round. All 3 judges for the first 4 rounds. That's 40-35 the scores of the 3 judges at the end of 4. We're in round number 6. Right hand scored by Melvin. Jerusalem. Just 1 shot though. A lot of head movement being shown by Jerusalem. And that lunging right hand. And it's an extra effort by Jerusalem because he doesn't have the distance advantage He doesn't have that reach edge. So he has to lunge at his opponent. Then a roar from the crowd. A clubbing right hand coming from Jerusalem. Single shots being scored here by Jerusalem. Castillo. He's really not able to dictate with that right jab. And he flicks that right hand, but he's not hitting anything. There's a combination. And that's the point that we were making. If Jerusalem connects with those combinations, it forces Castillo to fight defensively, and he's not able to retaliate because Jerusalem will be all over him. So the idea here is to steamroll past the defense in Castillo, overwhelm him, and swarm all over him. And that movement by Jerusalem. And earlier, nasabi natin na kailangan siya magkaroon ng movement, and that's a big adjustment on his part. He's not showing a lot of foot movement. Michael Domingo must have spotted that he was fighting Castillo flat-footed, and it won't get him too much mileage if he does it that way. But with a lot of movement, he'll be able to create opportunities and angles and openings. Castillo forced to engage from close quarters, and that's perfect for Jerusalem. Castillo getting a little desperate here in trying to slug his way into the defense of Jerusalem. At the end of round number 6. Only one knockdown has been scored. Jerusalem did that in round number 1. And we all remember that last March, he did floor Yudai Shigeoka twice en route to scoring a split decision to win the WBC 105-pound championship in Nagoya, Japan. Jerusalem turned pro in 2014. He had an 11-0 Close of the round, brought to you by Petron. And in 2017, after Jerusalem lost to the Thailander, he went on to win 9 straight fights. Only 3 setbacks in Jerusalem's record, 22-3 with 12 knockouts. And right now, Castillo looks like he's going for broke. He's no longer looking for that jab. He's looking to engage. He's coming straight at Jerusalem. That's a very dangerous proposition. Well, for Castillo, because he opens himself up to Jerusalem slugging. Ito, pumapasok si Castillo ngayon, no? Desperate measures, he's going for broke. He knows he's behind on points. He's coming forward. Malaking adjustment ito. Jerusalem landed that right hand once more. He'll have a lot of opportunities to land because nasa harap na niya si Castillo. Jerusalem needs to put some more power behind that right hand of his. Put some body weight behind it. Tumatama yung kanyang kanan pero walang masyadong power. packed some power. That's what he needs. And that got the attention of Castillo.
Break! Break! No punch, no punch, no punch, no punch.
Castillo still going toe-to-toe with Jerusalem. Jerusalem now going side to side. And that's a slick portion on the canvas. Clubbing right hand, the overhand. Coming from Melvin Jerusalem.
Break! Break! No punch, no punch. Break!
Oh, left hand connected by Castillo.
Break! Break! No punch, no punch.
Jerusalem has to be careful. Castillo remains a dangerous opponent.
Break! Break!
Castillo with 13 knockouts and 21 wins. Patapos na po ang round number 7.
Break! Break! Time.
Round number 7 in the books. Beautiful top shot. Makita po natin. Ma'am Len Tomas, Director of Operations of Blow by Blow. Mr. Dan Barrera. Ma'am Marifeb Barrera. Mayor Ben Abalos. DILG Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos. Attorney Gakal of Manny Pacquiao's legal office. And Yubir Marshall, bronze medalist Tokyo Olympics, is with us. And the word is close of the round brought to you by Petron. Eduardo Manquiel in the corner of Luis Castillo. Round number 8 now underway. We saw the adjustment in the offensive style of Castillo in round number 7. Sumugod siya. Will he continue with this kind of adjustment, with this kind of strategy? He's going for broke. He's looking to slug his way. He realizes that the only way that he can take this crown back to Mexico is to knock out Jerusalem. He's badly behind on points. Now this is the 8th round. After this round, we are going to be hearing the scorecards of the 3 judges. According to WBC rules, there will be a public announcement of the running totals. Paano pa punching here by Jerusalem? Parang nawala na yung bisa na kanyang mga suntok. Gotta throw a little more power. At that time, connection by Castillo with the left hand. Could be that Melvin Jerusalem is trying to get his second win, and he may be coasting in this round. A lot of rounds left here, especially if you go all the way to round number 12. Here we go. Castillo continuing to come forward. Headshots here by Melvin Jerusalem. Not too much power behind those shots. Ganun din si Castillo. They're connecting, but I don't think they're hurting each other. Less than a minute to go here in round number 8. Been a grueling affair. Big knockdown scored by Jerusalem in round number 1.
Hey!
Pero hindi na nasundan.
Break!
Could be a war of attrition.
Stop! Stop! No punch! No punch. Okay, okay.
Others exchanging rabid punches. Japanese referee Fukuji saying, none of that. Here's a right hand scored by Jerusalem. There's another right hand. And it's got to be in combination. Muhammad Ali, a mini version. Balls of his feet, and then he's bringing both his arms down as if inviting Castillo to come in further. That's the end of round number 8. And Luis Castillo at the press conference said that the climate in Manila is just like the climate in his Los Mochis, Sinaloa hometown. So he's comfortable with this weather. Melvin Jerusalem, coming off that grueling split decision win to win the championship in Nagoya last March. Circling away is Melvin Jerusalem, always looking for the right angles to throw his shots. We're in round number 9. Double left jab coming from Jerusalem and then finding the mark with the right hand. Classic combination. Yan ang hinahanap natin kay Jerusalem. Throwing punches but doesn't seem to be hurting Castillo any longer. Parang naubusan ng power dito si Jerusalem. And I can say the same thing about Castillo. Does Jerusalem have that sting left to bring down Castillo once more? Right now, it looks like a sparring session. As Jerusalem's, it's like he's practicing on the heavy bag, throwing those punches. It doesn't say much about the defense in Castillo kasi siya na bububog dito. Left hand connected by Castillo. See, those punches are connecting by Jerusalem, but they're not making an impact any longer. Castillo's walking through those punches. Same thing with Jerusalem. Both these fighters look very tired. Round number 9. Will there be enough left in the tank of Jerusalem to pull off a win by knockout? Same question for Castillo. Right hand scored by Jerusalem. And those shots are coming out of left field. Hindi nakikita ni Castillo kung saan nanggagaling yung mga suntok ni Jerusalem, especially with that right hand. And it's target practice for Jerusalem. Up. Left hand connected by Castillo. He's got to be wary.
No punch.
At parang nauubusan na din ng lakas si Castillo. Round number 9, just about to end. And those lunging attacks by Jerusalem, catching Castillo off guard. Tapos na po ang round number 9. We're headed
Again, ladies
to
and
the
gentlemen,
championship rounds.
We have rules on the WBC open scoring. Judge B and C scored it 80-71, and Judge A scored it 79-72, all in favor of the red corner.
Melvin Jerusalem has been announced by Petron. Partner po ng Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow. Melvin Jerusalem. We are moving into round number 10. What a wide margin at the end of 8 rounds. Jerusalem up by 9 in 2 judges' scorecards and up by 7 in another. So that explains kung bakit biglang nag-change ng tactics si Castillo. If he wants to win this, he's got to knock out Jerusalem. He was charging in, he was coming forward. But will he have enough stamina to be able to continue that kind of pace? The first of 3 championship rounds, round number 10. Left straight by Castillo, then the right jab. Castillo's moving around Melvin Jerusalem.
Stop break, no
And
punch.
then the
no
lunging
punch,
attack
no punch.
coming from Jerusalem. Castillo is not as active nor as aggressive as he was in round number 7 when he changed his tactics.
Stop break, no punch. Wow.
Melvin Jerusalem, the defending WBC minimum weight champion. And those punches are connecting, but walang masyadong impact. And it's become a war of attrition. Nice right hand. That knocked the head back of Castillo. Now, was he hurt? Jerusalem coming straight at Castillo. He's swinging away. He's looking for the home run.
Leg, no punch. No punch.
There's a lot of time left in this round. He's looking for that big shot to take out Castillo. It looks like he's getting his second win. A lot of feints being used here by Jerusalem. And there he goes again. And he doesn't want to punch himself out. This round is about to end. And he attacked Castillo once more. Another big round here for Melvin Jerusalem. The round has come. That's the first of 3 championship rounds in the books. And Jerusalem won that convincingly. Round number 11 coming up. Shot. If Jerusalem had to follow that up with another punch, maybe coming from the left hand, might have brought Castillo down. Jerusalem probably pacing himself, realizing this is such a grueling grind. Earlier in round number 7, nakita natin si Castillo going for broke. This time, I think they're just looking to survive. Shot to the body here by Jerusalem, but he's pouring it on. Here's Jerusalem. He's on the attack. And Jerusalem, as I mentioned in the previous round, he doesn't want to punch himself out. Because if you do, it gives an opportunity for your opponent to come back at the point when you're tired. So, pinapacing din ni Jerusalem ang kanyang mga atake dito. Both fighters now moving around the ring. especially Jerusalem. Jerusalem has a commanding lead on points. He doesn't want to waste that lead by getting careless. One punch after the other. And then the right hand connected by Melvin Jerusalem for good measure. More punches scored by Jerusalem. Castillo trying to come back. Punches to the back of the head. Clubbing blows. Now they're in close quarters.
Rick, no punch, no punch.
Such a historic moment in the history of Philippine boxing. The first World Championship fight on blow by blow, presented by Manny Pacquiao in partnership with Petron. And you notice that as Castillo's walking towards Jerusalem, Jerusalem welcomes him with a shot. So Castillo looks like he's fagged out. He's moving in but he's not throwing. Sinasalo niya yung mga suntok ni Jerusalem. Wala lang masyadong power yung mga suntok. Hindi lang ni Jerusalem, pati si Castillo rin. And we now go to the final round of our main event.
Okay, last round. Okay, all right.
Last round coming up. Blows of the Blows of the round brought to you by Petron. One more round coming up. It's make or break for Luis Castillo. If he doesn't score a knockout, he loses this fight. Melvin Jerusalem will continue his reign as a WBC minimum weight champion. Shot to the body here by Luis Castillo to open up round number 12. Jerusalem cannot afford to get careless. He has a comfortable lead on points. Jab straight combinations thrown by Castillo. So far, no response from Jerusalem. Right hand by Jerusalem, but powder puff.
Stop.
Less than 2 minutes to go in this fight. Castillo just not able to establish any kind of rhythm to put pressure on Melvin Jerusalem, who's just moving around the ring now. He's coasting. He knows his way ahead on points.
Rick, no punch.
Paubos na ang oras. Big shot coming from Jerusalem. And it looks like he wants to finish his fight with a flourish. And there he goes with the alley shuffle. Doing a little bit of showmanship here as he switches to and he scores with the right hand, knocking the head back of Castillo. Look at him going side to side. Muhammad Ali in action. Sugar Ray Leonard in action. It's a little bit of Ali, a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard, but it's all Melvin Jerusalem in dominating fashion. He's just seconds away from retaining his championship with a unanimous decision, without a doubt. Castillo was outfought, outpunched. Castillo tried to adjust his offensive style, couldn't get it done. Momentarily, we're going to hear the 10-second clapper.
Break. Let's go.
Melvin Castillo, or rather Melvin Jerusalem, pardon me. And the crowd now cheering Melvin Jerusalem as this fight is coming to a close. Jerusalem pouring it on, and that's the end of the fight. Melvin Jerusalem getting an embrace from Eduardo Montiel, the trainer and coach of Luis Castillo. And a glum look on the face of Israel Servin, who's in the corner of Luis Castillo. And they knew, that Mexican camp knew, that Castillo just didn't do enough.
Champion.
And Ito Ala Villamor is also in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the winner, I would like to call up the ring on GAB Chairman Attorney Francisco Rivera and GAB Commissioner Angel Bautista. And WBC Fight Supervisor Tsuyoshi Yasukochi. And blow-by-blow Chief Executive Officer Ms. Marife Barrera and Attorney Isko Dakal, Legal Officer of MP Promotions, and Ms. Len Tomas.
Diyan po nakikita natin, that ring is jam-packed with a lot of VIPs. Both fighters now awaiting the official verdict to be announced. Referee Yuji
Ladies and
Fukuchi,
gentlemen,
here we are.
We
The
have
official
a winner by unanimous decision. Here are the scores of the three judges. Judge Sin Kyung Ha scored it 118-109. Judge Stephen Blea scored it 120-107. Judge Arnulfo Nahera scored it 120-107. The winner by unanimous decision and still WBC World Minimum Weight Champion, Melvin Jerusalem.
And that's it, Melvin Jerusalem officially declared the winner of this contest, and a nod of approval coming from his Mexican challenger Luis Castillo. Two judges, Stephen Blay of Colorado, USA, and Arnulfo Nahera of the Philippines, had it a shutout, 120-107, while Shin Kyung Ha was a little generous and giving 2 rounds to Castillo. Certainly a well-deserved verdict for Melvin Jerusalem. He scored a knockdown in the first round, and Castillo, realizing that he needed a knockout to swing the tide to his favor, changed tactics in round number 7, came forward, tried to force a slugfest, but couldn't get the job done. Both fighters feeling the rigors of a long-drawn bout. Became a war of attrition. Naubusan ng lakas. Hindi lang po si Castillo, kundi si Jerusalem din. His punches towards the end lacked the sting that he showed in the early rounds, but he still had more than enough left in his tank to pound out a very convincing unanimous decision victory. They're in the ring, they're enjoying the moment.
Mga kaibigan,
Mahirap dito, baka biglang lumubog ang lona natin sa dami ng tao nasa loob. Melvin Jerusalem upping his record to 23-3 with 12 knockouts. Scored a knockdown in the first round. Wasn't able to repeat, but he completely dominated Luis Castillo of Mexico. Now note that Castillo, prior to this fight, actually fought only twice in the last 2 years. Last November, And then Jerusalem trying to finish off Luis Castillo. A little bit, and that rocked the head back of Luis Castillo. Again, that right hand. Nagkulang lang dito si Jerusalem yung mga combinations, consistency sa kanyang and out-punch Luis Castillo of Mexico flew all the way from Los Mochis via Japan to come to Manila. Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow in partnership with Petron, a successful defense of Melvin Jerusalem in a historic World Championship fight on Blow by Blow.